Why did I burst out laughing after my parents got into a car crash? Ever since I got my first phone, my parents insist on calling me 20 times a day. Mom says texting is impersonal, like hearing my voice 8 times before noon is somehow more meaningful. One morning, she'd call at 7:15 asking if I'd left for school while I was literally still in bed, then again at 7:32 warning about traffic, then at 8:10 to confirm I'd arrived safely. By lunch, we'd hit our usual dozen. The thing was, I'd gotten used to it, until last week. Our neighbor Mrs. Hill asked me to watch Biscuit, her ancient poodle, while she visited her sister. Should have been easy money, except Mom called every 15 minutes. How's the dog? Is Biscuit okay? Send a photo of Biscuit eating. I missed 3 calls during the 20 minutes I walked him because my phone was in my pocket. When I called back, she acted like I'd disappeared into another dimension. Tuesday, I went to Keon's house to study for our history test. The calls started immediately. You're at Keon's? 10 minutes later. Still at Keon's? 20 minutes later. When are you leaving Keon's? His mom started giving me these looks like maybe I had separation anxiety or something. But Friday broke me. Francesca, this cute girl in my class, threw a party for her birthday. I'd liked her since freshman year, and we were actually talking, like real conversation, not just homework stuff. She was laughing at my stupid joke about our chemistry teacher when my phone rang. Mom's ringtone came. I silenced it. It rang again immediately. Francesca's smile started fading. The third time I answered, just in case. Is the party fun? Mom asked, like this was normal. Yes, Mom. Great, she responded before hanging up. I could hear Francesca telling her friend she'd be right back. I never saw her again. That night, I snapped. Found them both in the kitchen. You need to stop, I said. My voice came out shakier than I wanted. The constant calls are insane. You can text. I'm 17, not 7. Mom's face did this thing where she looked wounded. What if something happens and it's our last conversation? We just want to hear your voice while we still can, Dad added, not even looking up. You're both 44 and go to CrossFit 5 days a week. You're healthier than me. This is suffocating. The silence stretched until Dad finally said, fine, we'll stop calling you. 2 weeks passed. Blissful, beautiful silence. I actually ate lunch without interruption. Finished entire homework assignments. Had a real conversation with Francesca at her locker. Even made the basketball team because coach could finally evaluate me without my phone going off. It was 4 p.m. during chemistry class when my phone lit up with Dad's work number. Weird, but I figured he'd forgotten his cell. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Your parents were in an accident on Highway 9. They're here at the regional medical ICU. They're in critical condition. My hands were shaking so bad I dropped my phone. The teacher was asking if I was okay, but I couldn't speak. I just ran to the car park where my friend drove me to the hospital. I called Mom's phone 6 times, straight to voicemail every time. I kept checking my phone and saw texts from my parents from 2 hours ago that I'd ignored. Mom said they were heading to my game tonight. Dad mentioned he'd bring a good camera. Tom drove 90 in a 55 zone because I was crying so hard I couldn't breathe. I kept replaying our last real conversation, the one where I'd called them suffocating. What if those were the last words? What if I'd ignored their final text because I was being petty about boundaries? Regional Medical's parking lot was packed. I ran through the emergency entrance, probably looking insane. The front desk nurse smiled at me, which felt wrong. I'm looking for my parents. Car accident on Highway 17. She typed something, frowned. They might have been taken to County General instead. That happens with Highway 9 accidents sometimes. I called County. Nothing there either. Called 3 more hospitals. Nothing. My chest felt hollow. I texted my grandparents to come over and immediately got an Uber home. And when I walked in the door, Mom looked up, smiled like nothing was wrong. Oh, honey, how was school? I thought you were in a car crash. The words came out strangled. Someone called. They said you could be dead. Dad set down the serving spoon carefully. We wanted to show you why we check in. Imagine if that was real and you'd been ignoring us for 2 weeks. It was a lesson, Mom added, like she was explaining a math problem. It was to teach you appreciation. The room tilted. You faked your own death to prove a point? We faked an accident to teach you gratitude, Mom corrected. I burst out laughing. The whole thing was so idiotic that I couldn't keep a straight face. I burst out laughing, and when I finally calmed down, I told them I was done. I packed a bag and moved in with my cousin at college. I blocked their numbers after the 3rd voicemail about how they only did it because they loved me and haven't spoken to them since.